Okay, this is a reaction video. This is Arsenal Exposed by Mark Goldbridge. That's football. Please click like, share, and subscribe for him. Please click like, share, and subscribe for me. Yes, we already know that Kai Havertz is out for the rest of the season. That leaves Arsenal with basically no forwards, basically, to speak of. I think you have Trossard and you have Sterling, but that's about it. Raheem Sterling, but I don't know who else they have, but we'll see how this all pans out. Arsenal Exposed. I did one on Tottenham, so I feel that I do one on Arsenal.
Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football.
And please click like, share, and subscribe for Mark Goldbridge for That's Football. And please click like, share, and subscribe for me as well.
I'm Mark Goldbridge and it's massive bad news for Arsenal. Last week we heard that Martinelli's going to be out for a month with the injury he got against Newcastle. Well, it's even worse. Havertz is going to be out probably for the rest of the season. And I've got to say, we told you so.
Arsenal should have brought forwards in the transfer window, but didn't. And now they're paying for it.
Is a massive lesson for Premier League football clubs with owners who are prioritising Excel spreadsheets over performance on the pitch. I'll never understand.
Yeah, and this is he's talking about his own club too, Manchester United as well, and other clubs. Aston Villa went and spent money and got in two excellent players. Arsenal, Manchester United didn't do anything of the sort, and now they're paying for it.
Understand why they do it, because ultimately the more successful you are, the more money you make, and in football risk has to be part of the reward. Arsenal have dropped the ball here. Everybody said they needed a striker for a long time, and now that failure to get in a striker is going to cost them. Also today Everton play Liverpool. We will be live for that for a watch along later, and we looked at that result and went, if Liverpool win that, the gap becomes 9 points. Is it over for Arsenal?
Well, look, I think it's over already for Arsenal. I think 6 points is too massive without a forward to catch up. Look, I think Arsenal is going to be limping all the way to the end of the Premier League season, I believe, because unless you have somebody else that you're hiding that can come in and score goals for you, which is possible, it's unlikely. I don't think Arsenal's going to catch Liverpool. I think Liverpool's won the league, and I think they're going to win the league today with a win over Everton. Even if they get a draw against Everton, that's still 3 games you have to make up for Arsenal to catch Liverpool.
Well, today could have been a day that the Premier League title was over for Arsenal in basis of the Everton-Liverpool game. It looks like it could be over basis of this injury news from David Ornstein, who says Kai Havertz is set to miss the rest of the season through injury. Arsenal forward suffered torn hamstring during training at camp in Dubai. Unclear if 25-year-old Germany international will require surgery, but focus is getting fit for next season. Absolutely devastating news. I feel for Arsenal fans. I really, really do, because as a Man United fan, and I'm sure Spurs fans and Chelsea fans and every other fan of a club where things aren't going the way you would want them to go and common sense is not prevailing in your ownership boardroom, this is just incredible for Arsenal. I mean, it literally...
Yeah, I mean, look, ever since Edu left for Nottingham Forest, we don't know who's doing the business, doing the buying for Arsenal. And you tried to get Ollie Watkins from Aston Villa, and you offered 40, they wanted 60, and you didn't, only up to $20 million, and this is where you're at.
I don't even like I told you so, but we did this video last week talking about how you look at somebody like Aston Villa, and yes, they've created funds by Duran going to Saudi, but what did they do with those funds? They went and got Malen, they got Rashford, they got Asensio, they got Garcia, they've got Disasi. They've massively increased the vibrancy and excitement and squad depth. Why? Because they're not in the top four. They're not close to the top four. They're probably not going to win the Champions League, and they want and need to be back in the Champions League next year. So they bring these players in at a bit of a gamble to try and boost that team and get back into Europe. And it starts with a good win against Spurs, and the place is buzzing and there's enthusiasm there. And it's that thing I mentioned last week where at half time or halfway through a running race, you have a drink of an energy drink, you change your trainers and you're ready to go. And if you don't have that energy drink and you don't change your trainers, you can get a bit tired and go, oh.
Look, I'm going to be at the Arsenal-Chelsea game on March the 16th, I believe it is, and look, it's hard to see what Arsenal's going to be doing as far as scoring goals in that game. They play Manchester United prior to that. They play Nottingham Forest prior to that. I mean, it's not going to get easy for Arsenal. They got Champions League prior to that.
The finishing line can't come quick enough. And I look at Arsenal, and they have got the money, and they've gone, nah, I know we're halfway through this race, but let's think about next year. And it makes no sense. It makes no sense how many clubs sell this nonsense to their fans that we don't really want to do it in January because financially we'd rather do it in the summer. And some fans swallow it and go, yeah, we want to be sustainable. But what happens then is you buy whatever you're going to buy in the summer, you hit Christmas, you need reinvestment halfway through the race, and then they do it again. So even though you might be looking towards next season, halfway through next season, you'll be in this situation again because they won't do what needs to be done. Football is a changing. Chelsea were at the forefront of this. Man City have just done it themselves. The January transfer window used to be the place where owners could say, there's no value in the market, you can't get any players. You can get players. It's been proven over the last 3 years. You can get good players in January. You've just got to have the money. And then it exposes the owners of these clubs who go, no, we don't want to spend because,
Yeah, he's right. You can get players in the January transfer window. Arsenal's gotten players in the January transfer window before. I think Trossard was the last one that we got, if memory serves. But yeah, I mean, you can get really good, solid players in the January transfer window if you spend the money, if you're willing to spend the money. But Arsenal wasn't willing to spend the money, and this is where they are. And Arteta was basically saying that in press conferences. We need to reinvest. We need to bring in players, and they haven't done it.
We've got shareholders to please. The bottom line is football is not a bloody business. There are very few football clubs that are successful being operated as a business. In fact, I can't think of any. Real Madrid's a business, but they spend money on the pitch. They want to win on the pitch. You're telling me if Real Madrid didn't have a striker in January and they want to retain the Champions League and win La Liga, they'd go, we're going to wait till the summer. They're going to go out and do something.
No, they're not going to do that. Real Madrid is going to spend money whenever they need to spend money. That is just how they do things at Real Madrid.
If it's a loan, they're going to go out and do something. Look at Spurs with Tell. There is something Arsenal could have done, and they are potless up front now. It's not acceptable. And Arteta said after the transfer deadline day that he was disappointed that he didn't get a striker. And I hope every Arsenal fan empathises with Arteta and his frustration, because what is he supposed to do? He's got no Saka, he's got no Martinelli, he's got no Havertz. I think Jesus is injured as well. And you think you're hunting down that Liverpool squad. It's over. It's been over for a long time, but it's definitely over now. And also the Champions League, over. You haven't.
No question about it. Like I said, I think Liverpool's already won the league. I don't think Arsenal's going to chase them and catch them. The Champions League is over. They're out of the League Cup because they weren't able to beat Newcastle, and they're out of the FA Cup because they weren't able to score more penalty kicks than Manchester United. So yeah, season's over for all intents and purposes. The only thing they can do is stay in position to win to play in the Champions League next season.
Got the goal threat. And I'm not saying Havertz was a threat, but it's better than nothing, and you've done nothing. I feel the frustration. As a football fan, this is one of the new frustrations in the modern game, and you feel so powerless against it. We've just done it at Manchester United this January transfer window. Bring a new manager in, the players can't play the system, we're getting beat most weeks, he needs new players, and the club go, we're waiting for the summer. And you go, we've got loads of opportunities left to win the FA Cup, the Europa League, get back into Europe, raise money, and you're waiting till the summer because you're looking at a bloody spreadsheet.
Yeah, Manchester United is actually in worse shape than Arsenal, to be fair. But yeah, he's absolutely right. They could have invested more money, put in some players, got some players, and done what a manager needs to build his club to what he wants it to be, and basically get a fresh start, so that when this next season begins, you're able to start getting the wins, get into Europe, maybe even challenge for the title. But Manchester United didn't do that.
These people shouldn't be running football clubs. Bank managers should be working at HSBC. They shouldn't be working in the Premier League. Football is about risk. It's entertainment. There is risk and reward. And what owner looks at a bloody spreadsheet and says, well, let's wait till the summer? Arsenal, on January the 1st, was still in the Carabao Cup, still in the FA Cup, still in the title race, and still in the Champions League. They are now out the FA Cup, out the Carabao Cup, and although they're technically in the title race in the Champions League, they're basically out because they didn't do anything in January. How can you mess up that scenario in a month and then sit there and go, our strategic plan is to wait till the summer? This is football. Football fans who think that's a good idea need to wake up. This is football. Arsenal were in a fantastic position halfway through the season and they dropped the ball. But talking about next season, what if next season Arsenal are 6th? Not in the Champions League anymore, not in a title race, and knocked out of both cups. Was it worth waiting? These owners do my head in, running football clubs like businesses, and it doesn't work because sport is entertainment and entertainment is risk, and risk
leads to reward.
Is taking risks in the January transfer window on the it's like you only score goals from the shots you take. If you don't take a shot, you can't score a goal. And that is an analogy for life, but it's also a very big analogy for Arsenal in reality.
I agree with him. I agree with him 100%. I couldn't agree with him more. Arsenal dropped the ball on this one. Arsenal should have invested in a striker. That's what they needed to do. That's what they should have done. Okay? They should have brought in some attacking players. They had an opportunity to do that, and they failed. They waited to the last minute to get Ollie Watkins and then decide, no, we're not going to do that. Well, now look at where you're at.
They haven't got somebody to take those shots, so they won't score the goals, and therefore they won't win the games and they won't win the trophies. In life, if you don't take a risk or take an opportunity, you won't get the opportunity. If you sit on your arse and do nothing, you will not achieve anything. Unless you've got a laptop in front of you and you know, a box of tissues. But my point is, you've got to take that risk to achieve something. And, you know, it must be devastating for Arsenal fans. That's all I'm going to say. Get your comments in below. Make sure you smash a like on the video.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with him more. Mark Goldbridge, Arsenal Exposed. Well, he's talking about a bunch of different clubs here. But yeah, he's absolutely right. Arsenal should have invested in a striker. They should have invested in a striker, but they didn't do it, and this is where they are. And, yeah, they're probably not going to win the Champions League with this. They're probably not going to win the Premier League with this. But I think they were out of the Premier League already. Now, they may win the Champions League. They may, who knows what's going to happen with the Champions League. That's cup competition. We'll find out later down the road with that. But, hey, please click like, share, and subscribe for Mark Goldbridge. Please click like, share, and subscribe for me, and have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching.